think we're good. What?
Hopefully your audio still was cut out.
It was until now. Now the audio should be good. What's up, guys? Hope everybody had a great weekend. Let's see now. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Alright, yeah, we're good. Live on X is working. Live on YouTube is going. Alright. I'm not going to spend too much time on here tonight. I'm going to cover just a few of my top watches for this week. So, look at this beautiful SPY chart right here. Look at this. Beautiful. Took this trade here. Calls ripped to the upside. Nice SR flip over pre-market highs. Goes and makes a new high. This is a short spot right here on SPY. Closes underneath of it. Flush. And then I actually did trade this. I paper-handed the shit out of SPX calls. So I bought them for like 260 bucks. I think I sold my last one for like 500. And that was it. And they went to $2,400 per contract, which is absolutely crazy. But a beautiful Morningstar reversal off this level of support on SPY. It was indeed glorious. Man. The sickness is getting me from my daughter. Should be good now. People in the Discord are like, watching Casey and there's no audio. It should be good now. That was my bad. I didn't toggle one of the settings. So, we're going to cover the main three. Is SPY, QQQ, and IWM. And then I have three other ones that I'm going to cover. And then I will be sending out the chart screenshots for those later on as well. That way people can see them if they did not attend this session here live. So, alright. Let's see. Are we doing phase 3 4K to 8K? Probably. %30 off is 1 month or monthly plan. It's off anything. You can use that KC30 right there on the screen. It gets you 30% off anything. You can use it on a monthly. You can use it on a lifetime, yearly. Doesn't matter. 30% off anything. If you want the monthly, the other code right now, it's attached to the most recent for the challenge account. That one is KC50 for the monthly, and that takes it down to $50 a month from the original $69. So you can use either one of those. What do you use to trade SPY, SPX until close in Robinhood? Close your contract at 3:30. I trade on Webull. So I trade on my cell phone using Webull. Liv, welcome to SNL with Casey Trades. If you're new here, share and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you don't miss an upload or live stream. Thank you, Liv. I appreciate you. Liv essentially is like not even just my YouTube manager, but Liv is like my social media manager. Like even in my mastermind class over this weekend, like Liv knows at the very end of the mastermind, I talk about 2 indicators that I use every single day to trade, and they're free indicators on TradingView. And Liv will go into TradingView, take a screenshot of the about this script, like code and everything, explaining and showing who created the indicator and how it works, and takes those screenshots and puts it in the chat for me while I'm talking about it to the people in the class. Like, Liv's the best. I appreciate you, Liv. Like I said, I got to get you on my payroll. All the work that you do for me. So, main three, SPY, QQQ, IWM. We're going to start with SPY. All right. So if I had to take a guess, I haven't even looked at futures, but I saw some tweets earlier, and I believe futures are green, which is fantastic. Because I am long some positions in this market over the weekend in some swangs. So let me get this cleared up. So, I mean, for SPY, Qs, and IWM, it's actually very simple. There's 4 levels from where SPY traded last session that everyone should have on their chart. So those 4 levels are going to be 610.91, 613, 614.57, and then the most recent all-time high, which is 616.29. So you need to make sure you have all those levels on there. For me, underneath 610.91, that is no bueno for SPY. So I would watch potential downside to continue on SPY underneath 610.91. So that'll be my downside trigger. For upside, if it can get back above this 614.57, 615, I'll look to go long again on SPY and then take it up to the previous all-time high of 616.39, and then just see if it continues higher. That's really it. There's nothing more on SPY other than that. You're welcome. You are welcome. Yeah, I think we're going to do phase 3, 8K or 4K to 8K. So we finished the $1,000 account challenge recently and got that to $2,000. So now tomorrow we are starting the $2,000 account challenge, and the same goal is to double it. So went from 1 to 2, now we're going to go from 2,000 to 4,000. Just doing the same thing, trading SPY, QQQ, and IWM. That is it. Speaking of, it's a QQQ. These are the main 3 levels right here. Back underneath 546.7. Go back down and hit that low down here around 544.50, and then underneath that can get the move back down to 543 and then 540. I mean, if it continues to hold above 547.7, target this 550 area. Did it hit like 550 almost to the penny? Hit 549.99. It might as well just hit 550. So watch 546.69 and watch 550 there on QQQ. Meta's going to make new all-time highs this week. There's probably going to be a lot of names that are going to make new all-time highs this week. It is going to be a fun week of trading. So IWM, little bit different story here. You got some big resistance right up here on IWM. So for IWM, let me pinpoint this one a little bit more. For IWM, it's going to be under like 214. Underneath 214, I think you can get a downtrend to 212. If it continues to hold above 215, they go up here to hit 217.50. After that, just 220 psych level on IWM. I don't think it's in a squeeze. Let's see. No, it's not in a squeeze on any time frame. 220 is going to be a big spot if it does get up there. But one thing I wanted to look at as well, how did the weekly candle close? Weekly close very green, and daily close back green after that pump near end of day, because the daily candle on SPY was starting to look like super freaking ugly. It looked like it was going to close like a red shooting star or something, so I'm glad that it actually ended up closing green. Yep, so we do have a short week That is on Friday. Yep. So market will be closed Friday for 4th of July. So we only have normal trading hours Monday through Wednesday. Closes early on Thursday. I did not know that. Well, that'll be very interesting. All right. 3 names I want to talk about. First one here is going to be Salesforce CRM. Thank you. So it has 2 daily green hammer candles back to back right here. And it just broke above this trend line of these lower highs. So if it can get back above 273.6, I think it can get a good push back up to 290. So not only did it close a green hammer candle above this trend line, if you go to the weekly, this candlestick formation right here off that bottom trend line, that is called a morning star reversal, which is my favorite bullish reversal candlestick pattern of all time. So we have higher lows on the weekly, got a trend line break of these lower highs that we're putting, and this morning star reversal. So again, I think if it can get above this 273.6, it can get a move up to 290. So I'm going to be looking at call swings for July 18, and then also potentially looking at August call swings on CRM. Next is Pepsi. This consolidation on Pepsi is absolutely insane. I know it says Morningstar. That is not on the weekly. It's here on the daily. So another Morningstar reversal here at the very bottom of this nasty downtrend area of consolidation here on Pepsi. This will be like the 4th time that I've traded Pepsi. Let me see. Live is the GOAT. Someone said Dollar General is looking sexy as well for upside. We'll look at that one. I like Dollar General. So Pepsi's been in this consolidation for, I don't freaking know, 2 months now. So I'm just waiting to see if I can get this name to finally squeeze and break out of this consolidation. So now that it has a Morningstar reversal on the higher time frame, I do think that this area right here is a great spot risk to reward to go and call swings again on Pepsi. So RFK secretly drinks Pepsi. That's probably true. So I talked about Pepsi Friday on the X's Spaces, and then obviously in the Discord, and then also on Twitter. I sent the full chart for Pepsi and what I said I was going to take. And then later on the day, I took my entry, and then I sent it on Twitter. I was like, I'm in those Pepsi calls, and then it had a really nice push into the end of the day, into new highs. So I took calls before the close. I took them here right when power hour started around 3:05. Around the same time I took those SPX calls as when I was on my phone outside my attorney's office, and I took Pepsi calls. And it got a nice push into the close and made a new high of day, and those calls were up 25%. So if you're following along Friday on X, then you already knew the game plan for that one. So in the 132 calls, and it got a nice push to 131.35. So see if it can get continuation up to 132 here to put those calls in the money. So we'll see how it's going to open up tomorrow. There's a bunny in my front yard. Last but certainly not least, there's a theme here. Morningstar reversals. So McDonald's. All right. So it closed in this bottom zone down here where it gets big reactions off every single time with a green hammer candle. Not only does it have a weekly green hammer candle, it has a morning star reversal. So look at that. Look at McDonald's. Look at CRM, and then the Pepsi chart, right? So you'll see there's a theme here. A lot of bullish setups on these names. So weekly green hammer on the weekly, Morningstar reversal here on the daily. So looking for a move, 9 times out of 10, I'll say next candle is green. I want that green candle to take it up to 295, 296 area. Above that, 300, then 305. So first target again, 295 to 296 on McDonald's. So I'll be watching for calls, probably for July 18 as well, for a move up to that level. It's going to line up with the trend line for potential lower high rejection once it gets up to this area. So that'll be my first main target there to the upside. I want my McDonald's calls supersized. Someone said, Casey, can you look at HIMS? Yes, we're gonna. So those are right there. So real quick, those are the 6. So again, just SPY, QQIWM. Those are very, very simple, as we're just at all-time highs. Just those levels that I talked about. The 3 main ones that I'm looking for upside for July 18 calls, again, it's going to be McDonald's for a Morningstar reversal on the daily. It's going to be Pepsi for a Morningstar reversal on the weekly. And it's also going to be CRM for a Morningstar reversal as well. So all 3 of those names have Morningstars on either the daily or weekly time frame. So I'm looking at calls this week on all 3 of those. Very, very simple. So Sarge was first with Dollar General. DG in the gap. I think that's why that's highlighted right there. I already got it highlighted. Look, I drew, and I highlighted this section right here for a squeeze, probably on the weekly. I'll go check that, but nice little rounded bottom right here. Broke a trend line, break a level, boom, and now it's already ripping. I had it at 97, going straight to 122. It is almost there, so is looking good. Go here to the weekly green hammer candle, looking like a flag, almost looks like a Morningstar reversal. Yep, look, there's the weekly squeeze. These are the best setups in the world. It's literally just the absolute best setups. So weekly squeeze moving to the upside, broke trend line, positive MACD and bullish on the RSI, and then boom, squeeze to the upside. So still looks good. I mean, above 97, this thing's already at 114, but yeah, extra little room up to 123. I like it. Oh, my HIMS chart's all over the place. HIMS is looking decent here. If it can get back above 51, I think that looks good for that gap fill. Yep, right there. So look, I already got an arrow drawn right there, so it needs to break back above this zone. If it can break above that zone, then there's a gap fill that will take it up to, oh sorry, that gap fill is actually all the way up to here. Missed it by a day. Up to like 61.50. So if it can break $51, it can potentially get a $10 ripper straight to the upside, and we all know that HIMS can easily make a $10 move within a single day. So yeah, I like that name as well. So HIMS above $51, I think, is a potential great stock to have on watch this week to fill that gap to the upside for another $10 move. I'm glad you said something about Thursday. I did not know that it closed early on Thursday. Someone said Lulu. We'll look at Lulu real quick before I jump off. Lulu's looking rough. It had a nice little Morningstar reversal here off the low. Red hammer candle in the middle, but nice 3 candlestick pattern right there. And it's just back testing this level right back over here on the weekly. And that's where it's rejecting at around $235. I mean, risk to reward looks good to go long here, but it just hasn't had enough time to really see if buyers are present to push that price action back up. That doji candle that just closed right there as well. I mean, that's not the most bullish sign in the world. So, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that you could see a pullback down straight to 230 and then see if it puts in a higher low and bounces and finally goes and breaks that 235, or if it breaks that and it comes back down. So definitely something to keep on watch. Someone said, I noticed Casey didn't mention nor show EMAs at all. Yep, no indicators. No indicators for the watch list. It is all based off of just straight price action and candlesticks that I'm seeing on the larger time frames that are showing either bullish or bearish signs. So don't really need any indicators or EMAs or anything on the larger time frame. Just having those solid areas that show where buyers and sellers are sitting at, and then watching the price action form and see how those candlesticks develop, and if they continue to be bullish or bearish in certain areas. That's kind of all. That's all you need sometimes. So that's it for me. SPY, QQQ, IWM, McDonald's, Pepsi, and CRM all have Morningstar reversals. Looking for calls July 18 this week on all three of those names. So I will get a screenshot of all of those charts posted, just with my thesis on that for the trade idea, and I'll get all three of those out sent on to my X profile later tonight. So, all right, that's it for me. I appreciate you guys hanging out on the live stream. Had to cut a little bit short tonight, but I appreciate for the ones that are on here, if you could like and retweet, it's X now, not Twitter, repost the stream, I would greatly appreciate it. Some people that can't attend it live, they can watch it later on. Some more people that repost it, it's easier to find for them to watch it. So look at that, still over 1,000 people real quick on this stream. I appreciate you guys tuning in, hanging out. So make sure there's nothing else in the chat before I jump off. What's up? I appreciate you guys. You're welcome. Appreciate you guys. So market is very, very strong right now. We're at all-time highs on SPY and QQQ. So Mag 7's looking good. Keep names like Amazon, Google, and Apple on watch for continuation upside. They had explosive moves at the very end of the day on Friday. I'm in calls on Google up like 75% and swinging those. So still looking for higher on Apple in calls as well over there. So would like to see some continuation on this bullish side of the market at these all-time highs on some of these names, and have the market continue higher and new names start making new all-time highs and other ones start playing catch-up. So we'll see how the market goes this week. Remember, it is a short week, so hopefully we see some decent volume, but around holidays sometimes it dries up. So we'll see what the market gives us. But other than that, that's it. Premium Discord team, I'll see you here live for live trading